Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's Less Than 10 Talk. I'm Piper Harris with Poema Women's Success Coaching. So I am here to empower mid-level women into heightened leadership. That's my passion. That's my desire for you. And in that, I want to share some ideas on building your own online business. So this afternoon, I read a really fabulous article by Whitney Johnson. She's a fabulous executive coach and really helps organizations grow and change and build thriving environments. All that to be said, she wrote this article about our current economy. And if you are living under a rock, you have missed it, but we're actually doing fabulously. Our unemployment is at an all-time low. Our stock markets are doing well. Everything is doing really well. But what Whitney Johnson said in this article is that although things are wonderful, everything that is up must come down. And she really recalled the Great Recession, which it was its 10-year anniversary this month, and just really talked about what that recession did to so many Americans. I mean, the stock market crisis, the housing crisis, it was really terrible for so many people and businesses. People, closed their doors forever. Her point in it was that we have to be prepared for the recession. And in thinking about that, I was thinking about myself. How do I prepare myself for a recession? Because it's going to happen. It probably won't be as bad, but it's always good to be prepared. And I'm not saying that I am a doomsdayer at all, but it is always so important to be prepared. So in thinking about that in my online business, I thought I'd talk to you today about you becoming an online business owner. Whether you are going to be a consultant, a coach, maybe you're going to have an Etsy shop, whatever it may be, you need to be prepared for online business. And so this would be a really great option to bulk yourself up financially for an incoming recession. However, with all that to be said, when I ventured into online business, I was not prepared. And so today I want to give you 4 tips to prepare you in becoming an online business owner. So I have been in online business starting to go into my 10th year. It's pretty incredible to think that. And it has been an amazing, exhausting, lonely, exhilarating process. When I started about 9 years ago, I had my sons, 2 little boys under the age of 3. We had just moved to the suburbs of Atlanta. So brand new city, brand new state. I didn't know anyone and I was very lonely. And I have to be completely honest, I was stir crazy. I was stir crazy as a stay-at-home mom. I could only take so many play dates and dirty diapers. And I'm being very honest with you with this because I don't think that every woman has to love those baby years. They were really, really hard for me. And so when I branched into online business, it really came from a place of loneliness, and I just really missed the challenges of city program management and nonprofit profit management, counseling. I mean, I had my hands in just really rich challenges, and it was very different than dealing with a baby and a toddler. So that's why I jumped into online business. So here are some of the things that you should absolutely do, and I'll share with you the reasons why you should do them and why I didn't do them. So number 1, if you're considering opening an online business for whatever reason it may be that you were like me, you are at home and you're just kind of wanting another challenge. Maybe you're at work and you're stuck at, mid-entry level and you just can't seem to break through into management, or maybe your heart is just on fire for small business, for online business. So number one, you have got to ask yourself, why? Why am I doing this? I say this because when I started, my why was I'm lonely. And that's not a good why. It's just not a good why. When you're developing your business, it's really important, especially with leadership in women, that you know and have a specific destination, in mind. So why am I doing this? What am I trying to do? That destination is really going to, set your path, set a light on your path. Whereas when I went into it and it was, I'm just really lonely, it really allowed me to do this kind of shotgun effect and caused a lot of pain early on my business because I hadn't developed my why. Why am I doing this? The other thing is, if you're going into it, your why is, I just want to make money. I'm here to tell you, you're not going to make money right off the bat. It's just how it is when you're starting online business, small business. It's just not going to happen. So if your only why is, I'm going to make all this money, turn back now, because you're not prepared for the hard stuff that comes beforehand. So number one, you always ask yourself, why? Why am I doing this? Number two, you need to ask yourself, who am I serving? And notice I said serving. Too many times I have clients come to me in the beginning and they say, this is what I want from my client. This is what my customer, this is what I'm going to sell them. This is da, 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 da. Rather than this is why I'm doing this and this is who and why I'm serving them. When you go into online business, having a deep why and also a deep who am I serving, who is my customer, what is my niche, all of those things is so very important. So like I said, when I first went to it, my why, which is kind of, I'm lonely. So what happened with that is I was serving all kinds of different markets and I was exhausted and I never truly got my feet underneath me. So it is so important, number one, to go into this saying to yourself, I am here to serve individuals. If you're not going into it saying, I'm going to serve individuals, you are never going to attract the clients and the customers that you desire. That's just not the way to go about with business. So many businesses do, and sure, maybe they're doing well now, giant corporations. But as a small online business, as a woman-run business, I just really encourage you to think of this as, how am I serving my clients and my customers? Why am I serving them? What is their pain point? Why do I so deeply want to serve them? Because by honing in on this, your why, your market, your niche, you're really going to hyper define your products and your services so you don't have the shotgun effect, and you can really avoid some pitfalls of small business. Number three, you've got to map it out. So once you know your why, which includes your service or your product, and you know your client, so whom are you serving, you know their pain points, all of that, you've got to do market research. So you're taking this idea, this passion, this why, this market that you want to build, and you really need to ask yourself, okay, can the market have this? Am I one of 10 million or am I one in a really small market? Whatever it is, you've got to understand the market. Let me explain it this way. So my first company that I opened, it was called Abundant Provisions, and this came out that time when I was very lonely, and I'm a chef. Well, I was a trained chef, a personal trained chef, and I'm a great chef. And so I saw this opportunity to chef for local gyms and families, and then I bought 2 refrigerators for a couple of different gyms and had grab-and-go meals, and I was making about 500 servings a week. It's crazy with 2 boys under 3. I was exhausted. And it was fabulous. I mean, I was really hyper successful for someone that was like, I'm lonely, I'm going to start a business. So here's what happened. I didn't do the necessities of the market. Number one, I didn't see if there was another chef in my market. And so what happened with me, with my first company, was that I did not look into the legal things about running a chefing company. So you're not allowed to cook actual food in the house, and he turned me in. Unbeknownst to me, this other guy in the county found out. His clients came to me because I was a better chef, and he turned me into the county. So I had to shut down or be fined. I was humiliated because who doesn't check out the market? Who else is in the market? What are the legalities that I have to do? And so I had to give thousands and thousands of dollars away to my clients, and it was just really humiliating. The second thing, like I said, is you've got to check out the market. After I had closed that company, I reopened, did it all the right way, and was a private chef in homes. And so my private chefing and my nutrition coaching, although I loved it, the problem was my market, the county that I am in, could not afford me. As a private chef and a private nutrition coach, it comes with a steep price tag. I've worked really hard over the years for my education, all of those things. And so I did not fully research my market and if they could afford me. So what happened was ultimately I had to walk away from that because I had to go into the city, and I did it for a while. I went into the city of Atlanta, had some great clients down there. but I couldn't sustain it because I was still mom. I was working home because I wanted to be at home and I wanted to be readily available. But if I have a client that's over an hour away and my kiddos get out of, daycare, their half day at preschool, that's not enough time for me to go nutrition coaching and go make a week's worth of meals for a family. It wasn't enough time. So I didn't do the market research that I needed to do. So you've got to check it out. Are you the only one in your county? Can you afford your county? Can your county afford you? You've really got to hone in on the market. So do your market research. And I'm going to go over a little bit today on lesson 10. So the other thing that you really need to do when you're mapping it out is you really have to ask yourself, do I have the qualifications? We can all be great at things, just like I was a great chef. But here's the thing. I had to actually go ahead and work up into getting certifications, becoming a part of different chefing organizations, insurance, all of those things. And the same goes for me today. I have almost 20 years of experience in the counseling and coaching field. But I recognized going into this space as a professional executive coach for women that people were looking for more than just my education, more than just my years of experience. They wanted those 3 little letters after my name. And so that's why I'm going for my credentialing, and I should have it hopefully in 6 weeks or so. So that's what you need to do. You've really got to research your market. So lastly, number 4, and something that I also didn't do when I first started out in online business, is you've got to test it out and then eliminate those things that don't work. So test it on family, friends, speak to other entrepreneurs, tell them about your product, give them your product, test out your service on them, go to small businesses. You're going to have to give some things away for free because here's the thing, you're going to ask for the dreaded feedback. Nobody likes feedback, but I'm telling you, you have got to do this to fine-tune your product or your service. And by doing so, by listening to that feedback, by eliminating those things that these individuals are sharing with you, you really are going to develop such an amazing service and such an amazing product for the individuals that you're going for. So these are the absolute essentials in you opening up your own online business. Is this a good idea for you with a possible recession coming in the future? I think now is a really good time. I really do, just because we haven't hit that recession yet. And it's a good idea to get your feet under you. However, all that to be said, I am just starting into my 10th year and I'm just now feeling like I've got this. Now, I could have done it a lot better. A lot of people do it a lot better. But it has taught me along the way and allowed me actually to empower other women in smarter, more expedient ways. So finally, owning an online business, it's hard, it's exhausting, it's lonely, but it's the most amazing, exhilarating experience I have ever had in my life. But please be aware that although you're going to go through these 4 steps, there's the ugly side of running a business, right? So licensing, your website, your hosting, how are you going to hold documentation, negotiations and contracts, products and services development and methods, data intelligence, where, again, storage, performance metrics, cash flow management. There's so much stuff involved in building a business. So, is it a good idea for you to start this right now? I think it is. I think this is a great time. But if you're really concerned about breaking out on your own or just not sure how do you break up into upper management, I'd love to talk to you. So I work to empower women into heightened leadership. And this is exactly what we work on. We take those passions and those purposes and we find out and fine-tune exactly what that looks like and how you're going to achieve that. I work on developing the 15 core competencies of leadership. I use the global leadership model. And this is how we are going to heighten your leadership, give you the confidence you need to break into online business or break up into upper management. So if you have questions, I would love for you to join me for a complimentary consultation. You can head on over to piperharris.net and sign up on there, or just send me a quick message and we will set something up for you. Because I absolutely believe that women are amazing business owners, and the more we empower one another, the more we share our stories of failure, the more that we encourage one another to pursue our passions with purpose, it's good for the world. It's good for you. It's good for the world. And it's a very exciting thing to share in with other women. So This has been a long less than 10. I apologize, but thank you for joining me today. Head on over to piperharris.net with any questions and learn more about me and Poema Women's Success Coaching. Thanks so much, and I will be talking to you soon.